Mamaroneck Tigers, Mount Vernon Knights. Coach, 32-18. I don't know that we predicted it would be this much of a lead for the Tigers, but Brandon Burrell is on fire.
Sensational performance in the first half. He has to have at least 8. We don't have the statistics, but he has to have at least 18 or 20 of their 32.
Right, we're usually depending on our other co-host here, Kevin Devaney.
He normally has the stats.
He's a stat man in that case, but yeah, you're right. He has more than half of these points.
When Joseph Holness went out of the game with 2 fouls early, John, it changed the interior defensive approach that Mount Vernon has. There's no, at that point, there was, like, basically I'm saying there was no interior defensive presence. It allowed Burrell to get into the lane. It allowed Brandon Burrell to draw fouls. It allowed Brandon Burrell to get to the foul line, and he's only missed 2 foul shots. He's like, got to be 8 for 10 or 10 for 12. So once Holness went out and the interior presence of Mount Vernon was gone, Mamaroneck really exploited that situation.
They did. But look, in basketball, we're talking about the triple threat, right? And very rarely do kids have triple threat in their bag. And even more rarely do they use the triple threat in a championship game in the county center at this particular stage. That first half, Brandon Burrell downhill, unstoppable.
Downhill attacking the basket.
Right. Attacking the basket.
Pull-up jump shot.
Mid-range.
Very
rare.
And then the catch and shoot 3 off a double screen action. So he scored on all 3 levels.
Yeah.
And he just got to the rim. And then what happened next was, let's not forget, Jonah Walsh, 0. Big 3 in the corner. 2 finishes under the basket. He's got a quiet 7.
Yeah.
Will Plunkett hasn't had to do much. Will Plunkett's played great defense. He's defended and rebounded on the defensive end. Outstanding job.
He really has.
Hasn't been involved in much of the offense because he hasn't had to. Been more of a facilitator. And Burrell keeps going, obviously, just we're going to play off of Brandon Burrell.
Well, that's why we love listen, we love all sports. I love basketball as probably the most team game that you could have, because offense and defense, all 5 players at a time, you got to play your role.
There's only 5 of you.
And you got to play your role on offense and defense. And right now, as you mentioned, he's playing his role. He does not need to score. He needs to continue that defensive pressure. He's doing a great job in the first half, and that's why these Tigers are winning 32-18.
And by the way, Zion Watkins hasn't forced it. Every time he's gotten in the lane, there's been a committee waiting for him in the lane. He's been able to facilitate and kick it out. Caden Tyler had a big 3 that kind of stopped the bleeding. Tyrus Lee's hit a couple of big jump shots. One of them was a 3. B.J. Robinson had a bucket, but there's not enough of them right now.
Yeah.
And they're stagnant on offense. If I'm Bob Cimino, knowing Mount Vernon, knowing what the history of this program is, don't be surprised if we see a zone press, three-quarter court, what we call 75Z or 100Z. I have a feeling Bob's holding on to that, but now he can't hold on to it any longer. You're down 14.
Yeah.
You've got to change the tempo of the game. This tempo plays to Mamaroneck.
It totally does. Mount Vernon looks discombobulated. They don't have their rhythm that we've seen them play with, and that's been the story of the first half. Now
they're in foul trouble too because of Burrell.
Right.
Burrell's put a lot of pressure on them.
A lot of pressure. Now, Coach Cimino is a legend. You're the coach now inside Mount Vernon's locker room at half. What are you telling these kids to give them a chance to win?
We've got to keep Brandon Burrell in front of us. We've got to make a decision. They took a charge at the end of the first half. They haven't taken enough of them, and I've heard the Mount Vernon coaching staff on the sideline implore the help rotation defenders to step in, set their feet, and take the contact. They've only done it one time.
Yeah.
So we've got to stop Brandon Burrell, square him off. We've got to get offensive fouls. We've got to create extra possessions in this game. We've got to speed Mamaroneck up with a full court press. I'm telling you, I'll be shocked if it doesn't come right away. On the other side for Ty Carver, be ready for the full court press. Yeah. Make sure we're in the right places in our press break. Keep your composure, be strong with the ball because there's a lot of contact. All week long it's been physical here. Don't turn it over, and then when we get a numerical advantage, after we break them down 2 to 3 passes up the floor, and we're in a 2-on-1 situation, let's punish them. We can't afford to miss. Can't afford to miss because Mamaroneck's missed 4 at the rim in the first half. This could be worse. This could be a lot worse now.
It definitely could be. Listen, we said it. We haven't been right about our picks entirely. What we've been right about is the first 5 minutes, these next 5 minutes, will decide who wins this game.
It always does in this building.
Yeah.
You know, the first 5 minutes of a game in a high school game, not necessarily in a high school gym, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
But here, the first 5 minutes of the third quarter will pretty much tell us how the game's going to go going forward.
Totally agree. The boys are back in the court. This is why we play the game, Coach. We'll see how it turns out for the postgame show. All right, Coach, you said it. I hear it from these kids. You said that you believed it was going to be destiny over dynasty. Mamaroneck Tigers, Section 1 champions. Yeah! Mayhem. It's mayhem in here. Look at these kids out here.
Tiger Nation showed up today. Tiger Nation showed up. Unbelievable.
Look at this. Tiger Nation. You can't ask for a better crowd than these guys right now.
Their student body and Mamaroneck's fan section was a huge difference in today's game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can I come have an interview?
We're not going to interview student body today.
You got to be the MVP. Yeah. I talked to Coach Carver before he went on the court. He stopped by. We talked a little bit about today playing. He's like, I've never won a gold ball. I've been doing it 21 years. And he coached the hell out of this team today.
He did.
He put the right kids in the right positions.
He did.
The right plays. And I mean, listen, we can't say enough about Brandon Burrell today. He had the game he needed to have. The kid's a baller, but Coach Carver, everything that the legendary coach Bob threw at him, he handled. He handled the press, he handled the full court pressure. I mean, hats off to Coach Carver.
Absolutely. Before we start with Mamaroneck, let's congratulate Mount Vernon on its outstanding year. I think Coach Semino got as much as he could out of this group. Yeah. I think they overachieved, quite frankly.
Which is insane to talk about. Everybody who watches the show, Westchester basketball, like overachieved. But Coach Semino really did a great job this year of getting them to this point.
Absolutely.
It wasn't a gimme for Mount Vernon to be here at all.
No, it wasn't. And I think Joseph Holness being in foul trouble the entire game, basically most of the entirety of the game, hurt them from an interior defensive presence. They didn't have one. It allowed Mamaroneck to attack the lane. Burrell attacked the lane. Johnny Smath, Jonah Walsh, and company.
Yep.
And then what happened in the second half, because so much energy was put on stopping Brandon Burrell and all the switches, it extended Mount Vernon's perimeter defense, and then it opened up Will Plunkett on the inside in the second half, and they were able to get it to Will, and Will was able to convert.
Yeah, listen, without Holness on the floor, his presence, I mean, not just the fact that he's 6'7", 6'9",
and long 6'9".
Long 6'9", but he has such a good presence on that court. His interior presence not being there did allow the other kids to dominate inside inside the paint, and that was a major difference in this case, too.
Johnny Smith attacking the basket. Jonah Walsh attacking the basket. Grimes attacking the basket. I want to credit Owen Reese, number 32, defensively for Mamaroneck, was fantastic guarding Joseph Holness. He did a good job. His brother, I guess that's, I have to be the brothers. Jake Reese also did a good job. Coach Carver, Ty's got 10 fouls between the two Reese brothers.
Yeah.
So when you have 10 fouls and those two kids are big and physical, 6'4", 6'5", they can wear you down.
They can. They can definitely wear you down, and they had to use all those fouls. So yeah.
And also let's not forget, we've talked about it on the show. Coach Carver has always been an outstanding defensive coach. They hold Mount Vernon to under 50 points in the section championship,
which is not what we expected.
We knew that the game would be. We thought that the game would be close.
Yeah.
We thought that Mamaroneck would pull it out eventually. This was a convincing win, and it was what, as I said.
Right, but I got to tell you, the box score is a convincing win, right? 61-44. However, the second half score was 29-26 for Mamaroneck. So the second half, I mean, listen, Mamaroneck put on too big of a lead in the first half to overcome, obviously. But the second half, Coach Semino put on his team, put on a game.
They made adjustments. They got it to, at one point, we said when he got it to 9, we thought like the game was going to turn. And then Mamaroneck in that third quarter had that quick 5-0 run. Remember I said that's a big 5-0 run. And then got the separation again. So when they got the separation again, they were able to maintain it. And then when it got to possessions, then when it got to towards possession and being a possession for possession half court game, they took advantage of the clock.
Well, listen, there's no point in continuing this postgame show because I just saw who walked into our booth. All right, the MVP and the All-Tony players.
They're right here. They're
Brandon
right here.
Burrell and Will Plunkett. So we're going to have these guys come on the show. Sit right here, Brandon, man. Will, right here, guys.
I want to sit up and give you a hug. That was phenomenal performance, Fran. Phenomenal performance.
Congrats.
Sit down, you guys. Sit down.
Congratulations, guys. We'll give you live, since you guys walked in live,
you're gonna
hold on to these mics, right?
Yeah, hold it up close.
Talk right into the mic like you're singing karaoke, right? Singing the Champions song that you guys should be singing. We're ready to go. Ready to go. First, guys, congratulations. Second, you guys put on a beautiful basketball game. It's not that you just won from individual play. The basketball was beautiful, which is not what we've seen throughout the entire championship side. We saw great players make great plays, but you guys played great basketball, and it was really, really fun to watch.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Brandon, Will, Section 1 champions, first time, I believe, in school history, ever. Tell us about the unselfishness, the selflessness of this ball club, the way that you run your stuff, the way that you trust Johnny Smith, the way that you trust Jonah Walsh, the Reese's brothers. Tell us about Sam McGill. My goodness, he had a great game. Tell us about that chemistry that you have. And first, Brandon, and then Will, I want to hear your responses.
We played with these guys since 3rd grade, some of them 4th grade, being with them every day, getting food with them. It just builds our team chemistry. So when we're on the court, we know we can trust one another. We see it in practice from guys like Johnny, Jake, Owen, Sam McGill. Thank you.
The legend just came over.
The legend coming over. He not only calls all the games, but he makes sure
he brings water
sure the boys have water for these interviews. because they are out of breath and dehydrated for all of the running that they just did in this championship win.
Continue,
Yeah,
Brand.
so being with these guys every day, when we see what they can do in practice, we know we can trust them once the game time comes, once the bright lights turn on. So we saw that today. Everyone, the whole world got to see that today.
Will?
Yeah, it pays dividends on the court, being such a close group. Going to battle, practice every day with these guys, like seeing how they improve over the course of 4 or 5 months, whatever it is. It's just huge to have trust in each other. Know anyone can make a play down the stretch.
This has been kind of a house of horrors, in recent memory. I thought you exercised the demons in the semifinal game. Particularly you. I thought you allowed the game to come to you in the semifinal game. I thought, Brandon, you did the same thing in the finals. And so talk to me about your mindset today. Was it just do what I did in the semifinal? Or did you have a different preparation?
So before the semifinal game, obviously, I had the best games of my career. Our team hasn't played the best, but coming into the semifinal, having the good game that I had, it really gave me confidence coming into today. So I just wanted to carry that over, and once I saw the first one fall, I got my confidence up, and I knew it would be a good game.
Will, for you, more of a facilitator, a defensive post presence. You were outstanding defensively the entire game. Your rebounding was, I think you had a 14, maybe 15 rebounds. Am I in the neighborhood? I believe.
I'm not sure.
But you did not force your offense in the first half. You made a couple buckets. Second half, though, tell me about the ability for Brandon to find you and your teammates to find you, and then finishing at the rim. Talk about that, because you had a huge offensive output in the second half.
Just like kind of letting the game come to me. Not going to force anything, like we said. Having trust in my teammates to make plays down the stretch. They were kind of hawking me, and I know not to force anything because I know I got guys who can make shots. And I tell myself, if shots aren't falling, things aren't going my way, just do anything I can on the defensive end. And on the rebounding side of things to help us win the game, do everything I can in my power.
You guys were, it's Coach Carver, so I've known Coach Carver for 20-something years, as long as I've lived here. Tell us about that commitment to defense. You guys did a great job of neutralizing Tyler for the most part, his penetration, Zion Watkins with his penetration for the most part. You guys did a great job keeping them out of the lane, all right? And so tell us what that game plan was. What did Coach Carver say prior to the game about what your defensive approach was going to be today?
Yeah, limiting their stars. We know they have two really good scorers, a good team across the board, but two prime guys. And talked a lot about living with kind of other guys scoring, being okay with that, because as long as we keep their main guys out of rhythm for the most part, we're going to be successful. And I think we did a good job of that today. And Coach Carver and the whole staff, they have us prepared like crazy for every game. We know Mount Vernon maybe more than they know themselves. But then with that, it comes locking and guarding the ball, being in help, rotations, all that, and finishing with the possession with the box out. And I think he had us ready to do that all day. There's no doubt about that. For both of you, grew up in the community. You've been with these guys third and fourth grade, since the third and fourth grade. I've said on air that I know for a fact that Coach Carver has been directly involved with you since probably middle school, knowing that he had this group. Tell me about the evolution of Coach Carver, because he's always known for being a defensive specialist as far as coaching goes. Tell us about how he's opened up and been more creative offensively. First you, Will, and then you, Brandon. Yeah, like on the offensive end, we have a ton of plays, and I think the way we practice them, I think we know them really well, and I think that helps. But kind of having second and third options to our plays, which he has, maybe even fourth options, is huge. He talks a lot about teams, they can't guard the third and fourth actions. Like you saw today, like the first action may not be open, not forcing the issue, trusting it, seeing maybe that third, fourth option is huge.
Absolutely, yes. Brandon?
I appreciate how open he's been with us, creating new plays for us, willing to expand his offense. So even like as we were coming up, he was patient with us, but as he saw that we were improving, he was able to install new sets into our offense to get either me or even Will open shots.
Yeah, he's been much more creative. Hey, how
The same way you guys got to be creative right now.
You gotta make sure that
our official popcorn blowers behind us.
popcorn blows behind us. It's been all
So
weekend long.
you're gonna hear that noise.
So you gotta make sure you really put it up there.
And I will say, Coach, that it's not hard to create an offense, to be offensive-minded player when you got Brandon over here. Today, you look really smooth on the court of how you started. And then that allowed, I think, the rest of the teammates, Will, yourself, and the other teammates, where when they got a leader like you in his game, hitting your shots, hitting your rhythm, you seem like you can control the game any which way you wanted to go. How does that help guys like Will and the other players? And then, Will, how does that allow you to be you? Is it much easier in that case when you have Brandon having a game like he was having tonight?
Coming into this game, as I said before, having confidence coming in from last game, that was huge. So to hit a few shots coming in, everyone, obviously, they're going to reflect off of that energy. So they got in their rhythm, and then the whole team got into our rhythm. We were able to move the ball, play solid defense, box out, get rebounds, then start to make shots.
And then, Will, you had to play a lot of defense in the first half. Because before Holness gets into foul trouble, listen, he's a big piece. He's 6'9".
Yeah.
His arms make him like 7'8". Like, he's a big piece. And
he's long.
your first half defensively, I think, is what gave you guys this win. Like we talked about it before. The second half, you guys won 29-26. The score being 61-44, what it was, and the real strong domination of a win in the box score was because of your defense in the first half.
Yeah, like we talked about, couldn't really get much going in the first half. So just kind of trying to be a beast on defense and rebounds, do whatever I can to help my team win. And then, like you said, kind of me being able to get going a little bit in the second half was huge because of him hitting shots throughout the whole game. They kind of had an emphasis on him, obviously. And then that allowed, obviously, me and Johnny, other people to get downhill with the out and really help defense and able to get buckets. So, yeah.
I'd be remiss not to talk about your teammates. How about Jonah Walsh, 7 points in the first half? How much has he emerged since the beginning of the year? Wasn't really a threat like that when we saw him play Ford and Prep earlier in the year. 7 in the first half and that big finish over Holness at the end of the where it kind of sealed it for you. Talk about Jonah Walsh for a second.
He may have not had his best game when we played here the first time, but we see it in practice every day. He hits shots. He's able to finish over big guys. He provides a big spark of energy as he's done in past games this season. So when he came out today and was able to give us 7 points in the first half, that really helped us. It really gave us a spark and kept us going.
What about Jonah for you, Will?
Yeah, we know how good he is. Just like him, Johnny, Sam, kind of Owen off the bench, kind of trusting all those guys to make plays down the stretch. Like if they're kind of hounding us, they're good at cutting, getting open, and being big for us.
And Johnny Smath has no fear, does he?
No.
He has zero fear. He was so good. He had a big finish down the middle that was really important to you guys, maintaining that spread and that margin. Talk to us about the confidence Johnny Smath exudes. Obviously, it's a whole different. I've coached a long time. Talk to us about his confidence level and what he brings you.
Yeah, it's been big to see Johnny's confidence, I think, kind of come back throughout the year. Late down the stretch, maybe the past month, he's been huge for us. Late games, he's a hell of an athlete, which helps on the defensive end. He's willing to do anything on that end, and kind of on the offensive end, like you saw today, he's fearless, and that's kind of big. He's smart, but he's fearless, which I think is huge for us. Yeah,
absolutely. And Sam McGill, T.J. Grimes, and the Reese brothers. I assume they're related, right? Jake and Owen are related. They're twins.
Yeah.
So how about them on the defensive end and the rebounding and just facilitating and not turning it over, taking care of the ball? Talk to us both about the Reese brothers first. Their interior presence today, I thought, was huge and helped you on the glass defensively and offensively. So, Will, you first, then you, Brandon.
Yeah, Jake and Owen, like we talked about, they're big number 30, I think it was.
Joseph Holmes.
Yeah, 6'9" or whatever he is. Our tallest player is 6'3". But I think Jake and Owen did a remarkable job all year defending the big. Multiple games we've had kind of size disadvantages, but it may not show up in the stat sheet, but they've been remarkable guarding bigs, boxing them out, and limiting their touches down low.
Brandon.
we know and they know that we might not always need them to score 25, 30 points in a game, but they understand the role. And as our Coach Carver always says, he says, be a star in your role. So they were stars in their role. They were able to box out, contain number 30, and they've done that in past games, even on Wednesday in the semis. They've just done that, and that's been huge for us.
McGill and Grimes seemed to have been on the floor the entire game. Sam was on the floor the entire game. TJ on the floor. They found loose balls. They found deflections. They seemed to be around the basketball all the time defensively. Do they embrace that role? Because they seem to embrace that role. And talk to us about their importance. First with you, Brandon, how important they are for you on the perimeter, helping you. And then, Will, with regard to rotations on the backside, if you have to step up.
So Mount Vernon obviously is an aggressive team. They're a great defensive team. So having guys like TJ and Sam, they help relieve a lot of the pressure. So they can bring the ball up once or twice. They can help get us into the offense. And that really helps us stay in a flow, even if I'm getting picked up full court or I'm on the other side of the court while they have one of the ball.
They're sound second and third primary ball handling type of guys, players.
Yeah, they're huge. I think what helps is they're athletes. Like, they're willing to do anything, dive on the floor. Even if Sam is a guard, maybe a little smaller, he's getting rebounds. He's diving on the floor with bigger guys, which I think is just huge. And that energy, especially from TJ and Sam off the bench, maybe even TJ starting on defense. I mean, those guys are huge on defense for us. And that energy kind of just brings a spark. Like, even in the semifinal game, Sam came in the game.
Yes,
it was just a spark. I mean, we got off to, I think we were down 8-0, 10-0 or whatever. But him coming off the bench with that energy is huge. So, yeah, they've done it all year, which is special.
We wish, listen, a pleasure to watch the both of you live. You're first class. You represent your community the right way, your family the right way, families the right way. We wish you a deep, deep run. Don't get the hangover from the gold ball. You know, now the next focus, right? We need to have the next focus. We're rooting for you guys to have a deep state playoff run. Congratulations. We have a couple of things for you before you leave.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Guys, this is this bracelet here and this one here. You tap it, the Winning Moments bracelet, you tap it. All the tournament highlights you guys created in this game and the games that all the kids are going to play will live on that bracelet, right? We also, Brandon, for you, what size you wear?
Large.
Okay, we're a little behind in our world. We're going to do this live on TV here. Live. I need my phone. So we're going to get you this locked-in sweatshirt. Grab your water there.
Thank you so much.
All the highlights right now for your game are now stored right here on this patch.
Wow.
So when you tap that patch, you're going to get all the highlights for your game. These bracelets have the highlights for all the games. Guys, it was really fun watching you play. Like Coach Jett, we hope you guys get a deep run in that scenario. The boys from the Class AAA champions, MVP, all-tourney, Brandon Burrell, Will Plunkett. Can't wait to get Coach Carver here to see him next. Great game. And now I'd like to welcome to the show the coach of the Section 1 boys Class AAA champions, Mamaroneck Tigers, Coach Carver Jr. Welcome to the show, man.
Glad to be here. Ecstatic to be here.
I know you are. I got to talk to you a little bit before the game, and you talked about, hey, man, I've been coaching 21 years. I never had a gold ball, and now that's over. Now you got one.
It's over. Oh, man. It's an amazing feeling. Truly is amazing feeling. Credit to the kids, the players that put so much work in, the coaches. It's an awesome feeling.
You know, we've talked. So prior to the game, I think a funny anecdote, right? Prior to the game, you came over to talk, and I as superstitious, and you know I'm superstitious as well.
Yes, sir.
I did not want to interrupt your pregame routine. I wanted to make sure that you did whatever you do to get ready and get the kids ready.
Appreciate it.
I can't tell you how happy I am for you personally and professionally.
Thank you, man.
That you got the opportunity to see this thing through. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Coach.
And to watch your team play both games here in the county center. The demons have been exorcised. And talk to us about how proud you are of this group.
Oh, man.
Not just offensively and defensively, as with the character they have as human beings, young men. And then let's talk about offensive defense.
Don't get me emotional here. This group is a special group of young men. We've been doing this for many years now. And it's a special group of young men on the court, but more specifically off the court. You won't find 10 better character guys, character seniors, leaders, just great human beings, and then we got 5 young underclassmen too that's looking up to that and seeing that, and it's just a special, special group, and I'm just so happy that we were able to achieve the success that we've been able to do tonight.
I got to tell you, Coach, the theme of every championship team that has been here, these players, they all say the same thing. We are best friends off the court.
Yeah.
We spend tremendous amount of time off the court,
Together.
hanging out, in school, out of school. And that has been the common theme throughout. So when you say about the special group and how tight they are outside, I mean, it's just, it shows on that court outside today.
It's so important. It's so important. And I got to attribute not just this group, but I attribute that to the groups before. For us in the basketball program, it's been groups before that have hung out after practices, and get something to eat, whether it be, a morning practice or an afternoon practice, and they went to go get dinner together and stuff. So the players before have, put the staple down. They've put it down, the foundation down
to create this
moment for this particular group.
See, listen, seniors set the tone. I've heard that from the beginning of the season from a lot of coaches. And to your point, these seniors that you have right now that are now the Section 1 champions, they've set the tone for generations to come to keep that momentum of that bonding, because I can't tell you how important it is when you're on the court. I mean, I can't tell you anything as a championship coach, but I can say, it shows they trust each other.
Yeah.
Right? Things in basketball that don't come in the box score is how much do I trust the guy I'm playing with?
Yes.
When I'm driving in that lane, can I make that extra pass and kick out? Even if I'm a star like Brandon, I can make the layup. Can I make the right pass to kick it out? And you could see, your team does that. You have them so dialed in. They trust each other unconditionally, and that showed tonight.
They do trust each other tremendously, and it starts from our leadership. It starts from Brandon. It starts from Will. Those guys have been in the program for many, many years, but those guys have been on the varsity level since they were freshmen.
They're four-year guys.
We threw them in the fire from the beginning, and you can just tell there's moments during the season that before I can even get in to say something at halftime, they've already addressed certain things with the players, and the players are talking to each other, whether it be the scouting report, all of those things, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing to see, and something that we cherish greatly.
I want to talk about halftime real quick. We asked all the coaches the same question. You're up by half. 32-18, but you are playing Mount Vernon.
100%.
You got the legendary coach, Bob Semino on the other side.
That's right.
Right? Okay. Coach Ward called this 4 or 5 episodes. Are we going to have Destiny versus Dynasty, and which one's going to be? What did you say to the kids at halftime to keep this momentum going?
First thing I told them was that we played a great half.
Let me interject something. Your first half was outstanding. Everything that you could have wanted your guys to do offensively and defensively, they executed to the utmost detail.
We talked about, we said we had first thing I said to them was great first half. Great first half, but we didn't come here just to play 16 minutes. We came here to play a complete game, and we know that there's another punch that's going to come, that's going to be swung, and we got to be ready for it. We felt that we had about 3 or 4 missed layups that we should have finished through.
Yeah.
We felt like that we also had probably about 3 or 4 shooting turnovers where we forced some stuff up that we should have probably, got another pass or 2. So we talked about, being better in those areas. I thought we were really, really good on the boards. And so we talked about just playing another 16 minutes, but also being prepared for extended pressure, and finishing more at the rim.
I mean, listen, you were right, because Mount Vernon did come out, and although the box score for the game is 61-44, Mount Vernon came out and threw their best punch because you won the second half only by 3 points.
Right.
So that preparation, I think, was great for your team. And you spoke about the boards. Look, the game is, to me, the game is won on the floor and it's won on the boards, right? The kids that get on the floor for those loose balls and the kids get to the boards.
Sam McGill and T.J. Grimes all over the floor.
And the Reese brothers on the boards. You had a contest with Joseph Holness, which with his wingspan is like 7'7".
No question.
So what did you prepare for that before this game started?
We've always prided ourselves on three things. Number one, we say if at the end of the day, regardless of what we shoot from the floor, if we play sound defense, if we rebound the basketball and we keep our turnovers very low, we're going to give ourselves an opportunity to win any game. And we pride ourselves on that. We know that a team like Mount Vernon, everybody talks about pressure, but at the end of the day, not only do they put force pressure on the ball and off the ball, but they also are a very good offensive and defensive rebounding team.
They certainly are.
So we knew that we had, to rebound the basketball. And I also thought that, it was uncharacteristic of us when we played them the first time. We turned the ball over a lot against their pressure. And, moving from that game forward, our press offense was very, very efficient. And I thought tonight our press offense was tremendous.
And you got into a rhythm from the press offense. You got into a rhythm because they pressed you. The kids were unfazed. They got to the right spots. You hit middle. You went opposite. And Coach Cimino was you punished Mount Vernon every time they put the pressure on.
Yeah.
He had to take it off. And at that point, basically, it was over.
When we took over 21 years ago, the first thing we did was work on press offense. Because we know when you're in a league with White Plains and New Rochelle and Mount Vernon, you have to be able to take care of the basketball. If you can't take care of the basketball, you don't have a prayer.
Right.
And, we pride ourselves on that. And again, when you got kids that's been in the program for a while and it's a staple of yours and it's an emphasis of yours, you got to be able to convert. And I thought, and you're not beating Mount Vernon if you can't take care of the pressure. And I thought that we were able to do that today.
Yeah, you guys really did handle the pressure. And as Coach said, Coach Ward was talking about at halftime in our halftime show that what he believes is going to happen is that full court pressure. The zone,
No question.
the man-to-man matchup, they did bring that. And to your point and to Coach's point, you guys handled the pressure extremely well. You broke that press a bunch of time for a couple of easy layups. And, that was a turning point.
And I want to talk about this your role players first. Jonah Walsh, 7 big ones in the first half.
Yeah.
Huge 3 in the corner. And then he had a great finish over Holness in the fourth quarter when you really needed that bucket.
Yep.
His evolution offensively has been impressive because when I saw him play earlier, he was more deferring and not really looking to be an offensive threat, which is what you needed
100%.
to counteract. You needed that additional offensive threat with Plunkett and Burrell.
100%. And all of our losses, they look the same way. And, we had a moment where we sat down as a team and we said, listen, we're fortunate to have 2 studs. Not everybody can say that, in Will and Brandon.
Yeah.
But at the same token, we need others to step up because they can't do it alone.
Correct.
And we've been very, very fortunate to have players be able to step up in big moments and be able to make plays. And no question about it, that's what helped us win a championship today.
I mean, Coach and I talk about all the time that, and Coach says the best, there needs to be 3.
100%.
I feel tonight, all of the other guys became the third together.
Right. Yeah.
How about Johnny Smith's fearless, huh?
Very fearless.
Johnny Smith seems to exude a confidence that that you might have to come sometimes,
Rein in a little bit.
Rein in a little bit. Yeah. That's a great way of putting it.
No question about it. But
he was great tonight.
He's had an up and down season, but he's been tremendous in the postseason. He's practiced better, and he's performed better, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for all of these guys because they've put in the work. I'm a big Tom Thibodeau fan, and he says the magic is in the work. And
absolutely,
we truly believe that the work that we put in, there's magic in it, and that's why we're succeeding because we put in the work.
Absolutely. And like I said, the Reese brothers on the interior, McGill and Grimes out front defensively were fantastic.
Absolutely.
We talked to the boys before, and now I want to talk about obviously, right, the cornerstones.
100%.
But I thought defensively, the Reeses, Grimes, Walsh, McGill did such a good job of taking away the penetration of Tyler and Watkins all game long. What was that game plan like? What did you talk to them about prior to?
We talked about being solid, being able to guard your yard, and then, you know, those guys are very good scorers, and at the same token, they let Mount Vernon go. They go. Mount Vernon goes as they go.
Yes, they do.
And we talked about just being solid defensively, being sound defensively, you know, following our scouting report, and I thought that we did that to a T today.
There's no doubt about that. It was fun to watch. I thought to hold Mount Vernon in this building to 44 points is a significant accomplishment. And normally you hold a team like any team here to 44, you really have a good chance of winning. Brandon Burrell. I mean, my God, any demons that he had are gone, and the kid played like a kid going to play at Harvard.
Yeah.
I mean, he played like that in the semifinal game. He was even better tonight.
Yeah.
Even better tonight.
He was flawless tonight. He was flawless tonight.
So
he
good.
was so smooth.
Special, and I truly say it. He's a special young man. We are so grateful that we have him, you know, on our side. You know, but Brandon is a perfectionist to his craft. He puts in tons of work, not only with us, you know, in the off season. You know, he puts in tons of work, and he's a student of the game. And he thinks that he didn't play well here, and it bothered him.
Yes.
And it was a point of emphasis that he wanted to play well here, and he knew in order for us to win, he needed to play well here, and he took care of business.
Yeah, because we talked about that off camera. We've had that discussion. And then Will Plunkett. I mean, my gosh. Oh. Whatever you need, coach, is whatever I'm going to do.
That is 100%. Whatever you need, he will take care of it. Whether it's scoring, whether it's rebounds, whether it's charges, whether it's making the other pass, whatever you need, Will Plunkett will do.
And in the first half, wasn't really involved offensively, but was a huge defensive presence.
Yes.
Was big on the glass, both offensively, defensively, give you extra possessions.
Yes.
And then when the floor opened up, because they had to respect Smath, McGill, Walsh on the bounce, and Burrell on the bounce, they couldn't come and give help.
Right.
It opened Will up on the interior, and you ran some great action for him to get him open, and he finished accordingly. So talk to us about what that kid means.
You can't put it into words, man. You can't put it into words. Just a kid that just wants to win. He wants to be a great teammate. Doesn't necessarily want the spotlight. He just wants to do whatever you need him to do to win. And he is a tribute to who he is. That's his character. That's who he is. And he's a tremendous young man, and they don't get much tougher than that young man.
Oh, he's unassumingly tough, and you know what I mean by that. Like, he doesn't come across like a tough guy, but when you speak to him and you look him in the eyes, he's a tough guy.
He's a tough guy.
I want to talk about Coach Kirsch, Coach Di Valentino, Coach Glassman, what your staff has done for you with regard to preparation, not just here, all year long, and talk about your staff, what they mean to you and the program.
I'm grateful for the staff members I've had throughout the course of the years. Forever grateful for all the work that they put in with our kids. I told these guys last year, this is the best staff I've ever had. These guys dive into the tape.
Oh, and Coach Dimmy, my gosh. I can't forget about the legend. I can't forget about Coach Dimmy.
They dive into the tape. They give feedback. They give encouragement. These guys work tireless hours to help me out, to help the kids out. They have a great relationship, great rapport with these guys. And, we have a scouting report today. The document was about 54 pages.
It's amazing.
The kids didn't get it. But for us as coaches to collaborate our thoughts all in the document with sets, with plays, and all of that stuff. And again, I can't say enough about the work, the tireless work that they've put in.
So I'm gonna break this down for you, John Lim. That is a college level, amount of information scouting report that they're getting at Mamaroneck. That's what they're getting. So those guys are doing college level work at the high school level to get these kids prepared for success.
I'll tell you that the execution tonight was college level execution.
Absolutely.
Across the board. So it shows. Yeah.
Unbelievable. I'm still amazed.
You are.
I mean,
Yeah. You can see.
Oh my goodness!
For those who can't read the body language of Coach sitting next to you, man, you can feel the energy and the relief. We know I haven't hit you yet. Before we let you go and before we let you off some pressure, you ready for a little rapid fire?
Oh man! Oh no!
Okay. Listen, you got to put your kids out there, so we're putting you out there. We're not letting the coaches get up here.
Okay.
One word to describe this team.
Resilient.
Who is the most vocal player on your team?
TJ Grimes.
What is the best thing about coaching this team?
They're great kids. They show up to work every day, looking to get better. They're so coachable, and you can't find a better group.
When the game gets tight, which player do the players look for in that moment?
Definitely Burrell, and also Plunkett.
I knew he was going to say both. I knew he was going to
100%.
say both.
You had an amazing win tonight.
Thank you.
What will this moment mean to you?
It means everything. As a player, I've always dreamed of playing in the county center. Didn't happen. Then when I got into coaching, very young age, it was always a goal. I used to always be here and just sit down, front row, and just think that, you know what, if I'm at enough games, somehow the good fortune will happen to me as a coach.
Wow.
Then we started getting here and losing in the semifinals. Never took it for granted getting here because everybody doesn't get here, an opportunity to play here.
No, they don't.
But I said we had a special group and we wanted more. And this means everything to me, to our program, to our community, our school. This means everything.
I want to leave Ty with this thought. Mamaroneck basketball, historically, one or two good ones, 1 or 2 good years, then a long period of
Big drops.
of big drops and losing. I've never seen, and I've been here 24 years. He took this program, and I was here when he took this program.
They were 2-18.
From 2-18. He built this thing from the ground up in his vision. And to see this culmination after 21 years, think about that, 21 years you devote your life to this. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much,
And we
Coach.
wish you nothing but the best and deepest run in the state tournament. And I know you guys
Coach
are going to be
Semino said
prepared.
it to me. He said, go win the whole thing, my brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I'm very happy for you and your
so much.
kids.
Thank you for all that you guys do, man.
And Coach, man, one of the things
Thank you.
that we do, and you don't have to worry about, you'll always remember this moment, and we're going to help that a little bit. These 2 stickers have all the highlights of your actual game.
Oh, wow.
You can put one on the gold ball, one on your plaque, your medals, and then when you tap this year after year, you can come back here and relive these moments that you guys created.
Wow.
This here will have the entire tournament on there. So not only the winning moments that you gave us, but all these other kids gave us. We know how much you like coaching, how much you appreciate the kids in the game of basketball. You'll have that. And just like your kids, you got a winning moments bracelet that'll do exactly the same.
Awesome.
So you can relive this entire Section 1 championship weekend.
Awesome.
Your team gave us so many winning moments. It was so fun to watch, Coach.
Thank you.
Phenomenal
Thank you, guys.
job.
This platform is amazing.
Appreciate
What
it,
you guys
Ty.
have done.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, man. We really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it, Coach.
much.
Thank you so much.
And that is Coach Carver Jr., the head coach of the championship Mamaroneck Tigers, Section 1, Class AAA team. And we hope that we will talk to Coach Carver again as the New York State champions of boys basketball.